how to customize your Shopify footer. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you how you can customize your Shopify footer to make it more functional or to make it more aesthetic. But in this video, I'm going to focus on the functionality of your footer and how you can get the most out of them. So now I will explain to you two things. I will explain to you how to add this cool map here where you can show where your store is located at. So it's like a store locator with a custom liquid, a um, code section. And one more is the basic footer settings. So let's just go ahead and jump to the basic footer settings. Now, as you can see here, I have my mailing list to my so that my customer can subscribe to the store's mailing list for promotions and etc. I have my social media icons here, and I have my country/region selector. I also have my language selector. So the way to do that is to enable the menu here. Okay, so let's run through one by one. The first one is the color scheme. Now, as you know, you can change your color schemes just like any other sections that you have in the website. So further, it's no different. For example, let's change our first color scheme to the scheme 5 here, the blue one. And if you haven't known already how to change the color scheme uh, color settings per se, is just click edit on the color scheme here, and then you can change the color from there. All right, so let's leave it to red at this moment. So next is the email sign up. Now, personally, I don't opt to have a mailing list, so I don't need them. But if you do, then you can show the email sign up and you can customize the message on top of the email sign up if you want. So, for example, you can say subscribe for promotions, etc. And you can make this bold or italic and make this also a link by blocking the message and click bold or italic. In this case, for demonstration, I'm just going to show you that I toggled both. And next is follow on shop. But for this feature, you need to have a shop pay enabled in your website. In this case, I haven't added that feature to my website yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip it. But if you do, by all means, you can add the menu here. Next is the social media icons. Now, in order for you to show your social media icons, you need to add your social media in your theme settings. And to do that is pretty simple. Just click the theme settings link here, and it will take you to the theme settings. And what you want to do is you scroll down all the way to the social media accounts here. Now, as you can see, I only set up Facebook and Instagram, and it's not my store's social media account yet. It's still Shopify's. But if I really want to link this to my store social media, I need to change the links here to my actual store's social media. For now, let's just add TikTok. So, for example, here, TikTok, what I want to do is type in tiktok.com/ my TikTok username, my store's username. But in this case, I'm just going to add Shopify first to demonstrate to you. Okay, now once you're done, let's go back and let's click the sections here and go back to the footer settings. Okay, now after social media, you can also add your country/region selector if you do have more than one region. So for example, here, let's go to the market settings. I do have both Indonesia and international as my settings. Now, if your store only have one market, for example, just the U.S. market or your local country's market, you won't be able to enable this selector on your footer here. So it will only be useful for you only if you sell in two or more markets, like I do here. And by the way, speaking of international includes Austria. And from Shopify, I know that in Austria, you are guaranteed, almost guaranteed, to have better sales if your website is in German. So, to have a language option for your website as well, like I have here, let's go ahead to the language selector and let's click the language settings here. Now, by default, you should only have one language, which is English, but you can add a language like I have here. So to do that, just click add language and add the language that you want. And then once you're done, you click add. In this case, I don't want to add another language, so I'll just skip this step. And then what you want to do is that you install this Shopify Translate and Adapt. If you haven't already, this open button here should say install. You can just click install, and once it's installed, you go ahead and go to one of the unpublished language that you have. You click translate and click translate and adapt. In this case, I am already content with Czech and German, so I'm just going to skip that. However, if it's done, then you can go ahead and publish it so that it can be one of the options for your customer to choose in your language selector here. Okay, so next is the payment methods. So the payment methods, I haven't added any payment method for my website yet, so that's why it is not shown here. But if you do, then it will show on the footer here if you toggle it to on. And then for the policy links, for example, you might have a privacy and policy for your store, and in order for your customer to be able to access that, you can put it in the footer with the settings. So before you even have a privacy and policy in your footer, you must, of course, set up your privacy and policy in the policy settings over here. So let's just open this in new tab. And in this privacy and policy settings for your store, you can turn on the return policy, and you can then write the terms you want to do and the privacy policy, terms of service, etc., etc. In this case, I'm going to skip that step for now and go ahead and continue to the next step because I do have some other things to explain. So now, as you can see here, you can, of course, change the section padding like you would um, on other sections. So, for example, you want to change your section like I have here before. I want the social media icons to be much on the top, so I don't want the email sign up actually. And then I want this to just be in the top dead center of my footer. So to do that, I'll just delete my top padding all the way to 0 pixels. You can, of course, change this up. It is up to you, but in this case, I think this one looks the best for me. Okay, so next is the theme settings. Now you can add also an image, a brand, a headline, and your socials here. And if you want to add an element in your footer, like let's say for example an image, you can click add block under your footer drop down here. So you can add a menu, a brand information, a text, or an image. If you click image, then you can click this and drag it anywhere you want. And then you add image by clicking it, and either you can select image or you can explore free images. In this example, I'm just going to explore free images, and let's find one example to put it, and then you can edit it like a normal image would, like you would with a normal image anywhere in the website. Okay, so the last but not least is how you can make a custom liquidator. So as I said, you don't need to be able to program to have a custom liquid section in your footer. So to do that, just go ahead and open ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to write liquid code for Shopify for you. So for example, here I can have this map for the Eiffel Tower in Paris by simply asking ChatGPT to write liquid code for my Shopify that gives a map for pinned in the Eiffel Tower with without Google API. So Google API is basically this a whole another setup for you to be able to use Google Maps. Initially, I want to use Google Maps, but I just not seem to be able to uh, add the extra setups, and I think that's another hassle. So the other alternative here is to use the Open Maps or Mapbox in this case, but previously ChatGPT gives me this code that uses OpenStreetMap.org here. So just go and play around with ChatGPT, and I'm sure you can get to it. So other than maps, you can of course add maybe a table or maybe like a countdown for your sales, your announcement. You can use all liquid codes. You can do all of them with liquid codes here. Okay, so that is all from me. I hope this helps. Thank you and good luck.